staging, staging, staging. Getting your house prepared before the professional photographer and videographer shows up. Stick around to the end because I'm going to give you a couple of bonus tips that involve staging, but some areas that you might not have thought about when you are having your home staged or when you're staging your home yourself that could actually increase the value of your property. So let's jump in. So, I've been doing this for 21 years here in Central Virginia, and I got really, really serious about staging, probably 10, 15 years ago. So serious, in fact, that I started paying for a professional staging consultation for every single one of our seller clients. So although it's a significant part of our marketing budget every year, I know how critical it is to set our sellers up for success by helping them understand. Because look, if you walked into my house today, it is set up to, we live here. We've got two daughters. One of my daughters likes pink. The other daughter likes purple. My wife likes some kind of crazy wallpaper going on in the bathroom. She doesn't think it's crazy. I think it's a little crazy. But what does the market think is most important? So, when you think about, and by the way, staging is one of the least expensive things that you can do. We're not talking about major renovations. We're talking about what is the first impression that someone is going to have when they see your house online to begin with, but when they walk through that front door secondarily. So here are some things to look out for when you're staging your property. First impression. Okay, so first impression is when someone, typically when you're looking online, the first impression is going to be that exterior photo, right? So almost all of us realtors, including myself, we're going to start as if you are, the front of the house. So as if you're like walking, up to the property and then through the front door. That's just typically we want to walk you through that property, almost like a video would, but through photography. And we're going to, of course, do video as well. So we're going to stage the exterior just like we would the interior. So what does that look like? That means that I have a $2.5 million seller that's going through this process as we speak. They're having their entire the exterior of their property, new fresh mulch being put down. They're going to have everything edged, of course. They're going to have everything pruned. They're going to have everything cleaned up. Like, we've still got a lot of pollen here in Central Virginia, so we're going to have the entire house exterior power washed. Then we're going to shoot photography the same day, right? Because pollen's still falling here. So we're going to stage the exterior first and then the interior. So what does this look like? So staging the interior, especially if one of our professional stagers comes in, they're going to give you a punch list of this needs to happen, this needs to happen. You need to remove all of these items off of the counter. This can stay. By the way, you need to paint that pink and purple and polka dot wall. You need to neutralize that so that step by step by step. Bottom line, a buyer will pay more for your property if they can move in and feel like they don't have to lift a finger. However, if they have to, when they move in, they feel like they have to repaint the entire house because it has not been neutralized. Now, over time, if they want to add their own flair, that's on them. But if they feel like they immediately have to come in, refinish hardwood floors, paint the entire interior, if you've got just things that have not been maintained over time, that's all a part of staging. Now, let me give you a couple of bonus tips that involve staging as well. One is kitchen cabinets. Now, I not only see clients making, really large, very expensive kitchen renovations, and my wife and I are guilty of this as well. You rarely get an ROI. So I would go as far as to say, never do that if you're thinking about selling a home, just to try to get a return on that investment, because you're not likely to get a return on a $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 kitchen renovation. However, if you can reface, or you can paint the cabinets, or you can do some tile backsplash that doesn't cost a lot of money. Obviously, if the countertops are in really bad shape, you're going to want to replace the countertops. But paint, flooring, refinishing hardwood floors, carpet, those three items right there, huge return on investment without having to do significant big renovations like kitchen and bathrooms, especially if you're thinking about selling in the next 6 months to a year. You just don't get that money back. So if you can set the stage for professional photography, for videography, outside and inside, your odds of not only selling faster, but increasing the value of your home increase exponentially. So when you're thinking about selling your home in Richmond, Virginia in 2026, the best thing that you can do to increase your value is to have your property professionally staged.